Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Late Show. I'm Nelson Late. I'm hoping that everything is working well. I always have a hard time starting these videos without knowing whether or not sound is coming out good, video's coming out good. Today I am in Cincinnati, Ohio, out here for work. If you all that know me have I have a full-time job. This is just a little side gig, but I have a full-time job that allows me to travel all over the country. And last time I forgot where I was, in Pennsylvania. No, I was actually in New Jersey. But this time around, I'm actually in Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome to the Late Show. I'm Nelson Late. This one is a big one. This is a relationship themed program. And the reason why I say this is a big one, this is one of the inspirations that I had to get back and doing the late show. I used to do a late show, for those of you who don't know, on the radio, and now I am with the times using more video. Tilt it down a little bit, doing a video based program because I think the interaction is better. And when I say interaction, I don't see any comments yet, but you're welcome to comment live. I will address all the comments that you make. If they're live, of course. If you comment after the show is over, I will be able to read them, but I won't be able to respond in real time like I'm responding right now. I want to let everybody know that I'm in the process of making some upgrades to the program. I actually have the Late channel on YouTube. I'll actually put the link down below so you all could follow. And if you please could follow us on YouTube, that'd be great. I expect this program to transition to YouTube Live instead of Facebook Live. Facebook has a lot of restrictions, and one of the restrictions they have is these programs only stay on here for about 30 days. Then Facebook deletes them. Can't make the rules. It's just the way Facebook does it. But yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why all of the videos that I've done have all been uploaded to YouTube, which kind of sucks because I see that I get a lot of reach with these videos, and I appreciate your support watching and sharing. Um, but unfortunately, after 30 days, they get deleted from Facebook. So I have them on YouTube. And when I upload them to YouTube, I mean, my numbers are very low because people already watched it. And, it starts from zero with accounts. Either way, I'm not here for the numbers. I'm here for the information. I know in the last program we spoke about travel tips. Got some good response to that and a lot of participation. I do appreciate you for participating. And I would like to again thank you for your support. Share with your friends and family. Share my videos. I am not a professional advisor on any of the things that I do on here. I go based on my personal experiences. I do have knowledge of certain aspects, and I do my research on them. But when I'm giving you my professional opinion of something is one thing. Most of these programs are based on life experiences and personal opinion. So these are entertainment videos, although some of the information is pretty good and you could take it any way you like it. So welcome again to my program. A lot to talk about today. Again, this program about relationships is something I've been wanting to do. In fact, not only I've been wanting to do a program about relationships, I'm actually considering writing a book, and I'm not kidding about that. I'm considering writing a book based on my life experiences with relationships, all the things that I learned, some of the things I've experienced. I know if you're a close friend of mine, there's a few close friends of mine who know the whole story or some of the stories I've told them about the dating world. Some of them are very funny, some of them are scary, some of them are like, what the fuck? Just a lot of weird things that I've gone through over the years, and I'd like to share some of that stuff with you. I'm not going to touch base on a lot of those weird experiences on this program. That's something for you to buy my book when I do write it and I print it. I am considering doing it, so if I get enough support, maybe they'll push me to get it done. But either way, I'm excited about being here and talking about some of this stuff. So I want to also mention people's names will not be mentioned on this video. I will mention experiences that I had in my life with people in my life, and I will not mention names. I will not drop hints on who it is. I will just mention what happened between me and that individual person or persons. I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. I'm not here to expose anything. And my life is actually pretty private in a way. There's certain things I think that the world can know to make the world a better place and to make your life, a little bit better, I guess, based on some of the mistakes that I made in the past and some of the mistakes that other people in my life have made. Um, so let's get right with it. After my divorce, I finalized my divorce in 2021. Um, it was just the end of COVID. Things were going kind of crazy in the world. Um, 19 years of marriage, I decided, and that's just my personal choice. I decided to go on a fun phase, okay? So I made it very clear that I was going to do my thing. I was going to go out, I was going to meet people, create friendships. Was not ready for a relationship at all. I was not. And I had no intention on settling down at that particular moment. What I did do pretty clear, I went on some dating apps, dating sites, and I ended up meeting a lot of people. Some people I met, uh, chatted with online, moved on to the next phase of talking on the phone. And if that went well, then eventually met in person, went on a couple of dates, and sometimes things happen, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes people come across as one particular way, and then you meet them in person, like, no. As an example, there's one lady in particular who her age on the profile was 58. On her photo, she looked about 40. And I thought, wow, she looks amazing for 58. She looks like she's 40. Started talking on the phone, started, interacting. And I asked, hey, why won't we FaceTime one of these days? And at the time, she said, I'm sorry, I have a rule. I don't FaceTime until I meet somebody in person. Said, okay. Didn't think anything of it. I was kind of new to the whole dating world. We decided eventually to meet for coffee, and we did. She had told me she drove a Lincoln SUV, a small compact one. I don't even know what the model of it is. Um, very a rare color, very rare car. And when we meet in person, we were supposed to meet at a certain location at a coffee shop. And I see a car just like her, same color, but parked all the way at the end of the parking lot. So I thought, oh, that's definitely not her because why would she be parking so far away? But it's funny how a car that's not that popular is in the same lot at the same time. Then this woman walked out of the car, and I thought, that is definitely not her. And she starts walking towards me. She knew what car I was driving. I was sitting in my car. And as she's walking towards me, my jaw just dropped like, oh shit, it's her. So she was 58. On the picture, she looked like she was 40, when in reality, she actually looked older than 58. So I had like a 20 plus year gap of who I thought she looked like to what she looked like in real life. Now, I'm not saying that to sound shallow, but she clearly knew that she was catfishing me. That's why she wouldn't want to meet, or should I say, she didn't want to FaceTime prior to meeting me. She looked nothing like the photo. She was still an attractive woman. I was not surprised at her age. I was not surprised at the look for her age, but the fact that she brought me into this situation with a photo that did not look like her, that to me is a form of lying and of deceit. So even though I had the coffee with her and everything, I kind of said, okay, this can't go anywhere. It was nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. Good luck to you. Goodbye. Because I would never be able to trust somebody who basically brought me into that situation trying to hide things from me. So that was my personal experience on that. I see a lot of people out there viewing, but nobody's commenting. Please comment on the chat. Say hello. Don't be shy. So that was just one of many, many situations that I had with some of the dating experiences until one day, and it wasn't through a dating app, it was through an actual friend, a mutual friend. I met um, someone organically, not through a dating app, someone I liked a lot. And when I saw her, we actually had like a conference call in a way, like a group, chat type of thing with video. And I was like, wow, okay, she looks very, very attractive, very pretty, and super smart, super nice. Um, so we started creating a friendship. We started communicating directly, and finally, after a while, I was able to meet her in person. And when I met her in person, I knew I was in trouble. Meaning, yeah, I fell hard for her, very hard. Uh, Amazing person, smart, intelligent. I mean, successful, sweetheart. I was all in. I was all in. Uh, it took her a while to develop feelings for me. I don't think we were ever at the same level. I know for a fact we were never at the same level. But we kind of went along with it. We had a relatively long relationship. There was a couple of bumps along the road here. Um, and yeah, I was way in love with this woman, to the point where one day she even said, "You're in love with the idea of being in love," and I said, "Absolutely not." I mean, I was all in, all in, and I felt, even though I could tell she liked me, I could tell she had feelings for me. It took her a while to even say the 143 phrase, which is "I love you." She did come around and say that. I always felt that it was not the same level as me, and look, I she was at a much more advanced phase of her life when we met. I had just got off the divorce. I had just gone through all this crazy things. My life was still kind of a mess. Um, all of those things. Um, I was the first person that she introduced to her children, who were already older but still teenagers, after her divorce. So there was a little resentment there from them. But I was all in with this woman, all in. Unfortunately, she was not. So after a while, um, it was time to split up. Now the problem here is there was a lot of red flags in the relationship, a lot, to which I ignored for the most part. I saw it, but I thought, nah, this can't be her. No, nah, she didn't mean that. Or no, she didn't say that. She didn't mean it. She didn't think it. No, she's not. There was a lot of denial going on, and I can see that today, because obviously I only wanted to see the good in her, not the bad in her. Um, and it's not like she was a bad person, but she was bad towards me in a certain way. There was a lot of resentment. There's a lot of criticism based on my decisions, whether they were current or past ones. I was criticized based on past decisions that she wasn't even in my life when I made those decisions. Criticized me a lot. You know, I I see it now. I see it clearly now that I should have seen those red flags and I should have walked away a long time ago. I didn't because again, I was all in with her. I was completely in love, and I just didn't want to let go um, of the happiness of the fairy tale story. Yeah, as a guy, it was kind of funny to say, but I did have a fairy tale story that I was hoping I would write with her. Never happened, uh, unfortunately, but that's kind of it. That's kind of where it went. Um, then there is the friendship after the relationship. Now, can that be done? It depends. We could all be adults about things, even after a relationship is done. You can still be friends, if people could separate the two things. Her and I remained friends, not extremely close friends, but we remained in contact afterwards. Uh, I have to fully admit that I always had the hope of reconciliation. And then I found out that she was in a relationship. And when she was in the relationship, it felt like a bomb to me, because that's when I realized that there was absolutely no chance of a reconciliation. And just to be fair, she never led me on, in my opinion. She never led me on. She never gave me hints. She never really told me she was in a relationship until about 9 months into it, when it just happened to pop up in the conversation. Um, that's when it really dawned on me, like, wow, okay, she's gone. You're not going to be together. It's over. Move on. It did hurt a lot, because the feelings are still there. At one point, I thought she was my soulmate, and it hurt, but I was able to move on. Able to move on. So friendship after relationship, and I have a good friend of mine that knows, a lot of things about psychology and everything, and she said it's impossible to do it. I don't think it's impossible as long as you're able to separate the two things. There'll always be memories of that person, whether you see them or not, whether you're with them or not. There will always be memories that you'll have of situations that pop in your mind, locations that you were in, a restaurant, a situation, something that was said, a song that comes on, whatever the case may be. Maybe even their car. You see a similar car or something like that. There will always be memories. It's what you do with those memories that's important. Can you move forward? Can you just be depressed every time something triggers that? Uh, it that song that is it Mariah Carey that said love takes time to heal when you're hurting so much. True words. It does sometimes take a long time to be able to move on, but there is hope, and I can tell you right now there's hope because I feel the difference of where I was before, where I am now, how you're able to move on with your life, and your heart heals, and you're able to open up again to new possibilities and meet new people, and maybe meet the right person that's the right person for you. Um, and I've met a person that I believe is the right person for me. Time will tell, but yeah, I think she might be the one. And her attitude towards me is completely different from the previous relationship in a good way. Um, and we'll see. Time will tell. So, proper relationship is a thing. Can you identify things that tell you that the relationship you're in is the proper relationship? When I was in the other one, I didn't think there was anything wrong, even though there were wrong things. So the way I coped with it is I would write a list of things that happened that really affected me in a negative way. And the list became growing and growing and growing to the point where I still have the list today. And every time I read it, I'm like, wow, if I was to tell this to somebody, or rephrase that, if somebody was to tell me this, that their person did this or said this to them, I'd be like, wow, that person does not want to be with you. That's not the person for you. I would have told them that. And that happens to me, and I couldn't tell myself that. It's one of those do what I do, don't do as I say, or actually do as I say, don't do as I do. Um, so yeah, it's all about whether or not you might love that person. Does that person love you the same way? And even if it's not like a close to like even thing, it's got to be like a 70%, 60%, close to it, right? You guys got to be at the same level, close to when it comes to feelings for one another. And even sometimes when you have strong feelings for one another, you're not going to be able to actually cope. Some people might be all into each other and not coexist properly, and there's a lot of resentment, a lot of negativity between one and the other, which makes you wonder, is this person right for me? Those are important decisions. If you feel that that person is not right for you, if you get to that conclusion, maybe that person is not. And one thing I'm going to tell you, and this is not just relationships, this was everything. We have one life to live. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. On earth, you have one life to live. Why are you going to spend time, effort, be stressed out over someone that you have feelings for, but they're not your person, over someone that might not love you at the same level that you love them, that they may not care about you at the same level you care about them, they may not want to be with you at the same level you want to be with them. Those are the decisions you have to finally make to be able to break off. And it's not an easy thing and it's extremely painful, but if you get all of those red flags, don't do the same mistakes I made and ignore them. That's about my personal relationships. Now, I want to tell you something to you guys because, like I said, life's too short and we have one life to live. When it comes to friendships and personal connections, it goes hand in hand. And I'm not even talking about romantic relationships. Um, in my personal life, many, many years ago, my brother was told a bunch of lies by another family member. These lies escalated. We didn't know about why the resentment was happening, uh, but he had resentment towards my mother. Now, had nothing to do with me, but I saw it firsthand because I lived with my parents at the time, and I saw the resentment back and forth. Even though my mom was not resentful of my brother, but she was trying to understand what's going on, and there was a lot of arguing and a lot of just negativity back and forth. Couldn't really understand why. Um, my brother stopped talking to my mother for 5 years, 5 long years. Um, and not only stopped talking to her, he actually stopped communicating with me. This is back in the day when there was no internet. You would either make a phone call or write a letter. That's it. Um, One fine day, I get a letter in the mail from my brother telling me, hey, I don't want to lose contact with you. I know it's been a while, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, you have another niece and another nephew that were born. They were born this long ago and this long ago, and their names are so and so and so and so. 5 years. I hadn't heard from him. 5 years. And he also said, and by the way, my new phone number is blah, blah, blah. So my mom got home from work, and I told her about this, and she said, "Are you going to call him?" I said, "Well, I should, right? So I will." So I called him and started talking to him. Hey, brother, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. Long time no chat. I mean, it was just a very emotional conversation because we hadn't spoken for so long because of something that I had absolutely nothing to do with. It was between him and my mom, but fine. Then he heard her talking in the background and he asked if it was her. And I said yes. And I asked, "Do you want to talk to him?" She said yes. "Do you want to talk to her?" He said yes. To make a long story short, they spoke about it. They cried over the phone. They made up. A few months later, my parents are flying to Portugal. They meet. They hang out. They make peace. Everything is great. 5 years later, 5 years, we found out that this other family member was brainwashing my brother against my mother out of convenience because they wanted land. I don't want to get into a lot of details, but it was all about they wanted to split my brother from my mother because they wanted my mother's land and, all this other shit. Ridiculous stuff. He realized that he fucked up. He realized that he was fooled. He was lied to. And 5 years of his life were wasted. The following year, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. Months after that, my mother passed. Now, this will forever haunt my brother. It was his choice back then. It was 5 years that he didn't interact with his mom. And I'm pretty sure it eats him from the inside every day. He even told me that it does. So the person that put him against my mom, he absolutely despises this person. And I do too, for the same reason. But in the end, the lesson that we can learn is it's not worth it sometimes to just break off friendships, or in this case, a relationship between the son and his mother over bullshit. It's easier to just sit down, talk like adults, and try to get to the bottom of it. It's easier to do that. Why not? Now, I'm not perfect. I have my share of people that I don't talk to and everything. But to be honest, they're really not that important in my life. But if it's a serious friendship, a family member, is it really worth it? Is it really worth being upset at each other? Is it really worth not talking to one another over stupid shit? I know this country's the most divided it's been since as far as I remember. And I have family members who refuse to talk to me because of politic disagreements. In fact, I was about to go visit family in a different state, and I was told by an aunt, it's better you won't come because, since he's going to be here and we don't want to cause any problems. It's really sad that we're at a point in our lives where even political disagreements cause family feuds. I'm not happy with that. because we're here today. We might not be here tomorrow. Shit, we might not be here at the end of the day. So, opportunities that we have to be at peace and enjoy life and be with people that we care about, people that we love, even if it's just to call in, see how they're doing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being a hypocrite. I have people right now in my life that are where we're going through that. But there is hope. You can always fix something, or you can at least try to fix it. I tried to in this particular case, uh, going out of state to go visit family, trying to reconciliate with a family member who we haven't spoken for years because of political differences, extremist political differences. I guess what I'm trying to say is the bottom line is life is too short. If you're thinking about someone important in your life that you haven't spoken to in a while, someone important in your life that you wonder how they're doing, just think about this. They might be here tomorrow today, but they might not be here tomorrow. If you don't reach out to them today to say, "Hey, let's talk about all this shit. Let's patch things up. Let's move forward with life cuz life's too fucking short." If you don't do that today, you may never have an opportunity for doing that. And time that you're not spending together, things you're not doing together, phone calls, activities, you're completely separate. That time will never come back. Like the 5 years that my brother lost with his own mother. You'll never get that time back. You may not ever get that time back. Is it worth it? Is it worth salvaging a relationship for someone you care? Abso-fucking-lutely. So do it. Do it. I've tried to do it. I've tried to do it, and sometimes it's the other party that chooses not to. But at least I could go to sleep at night thinking, hey, at least I tried. If they don't want it, that's their thing. But I'll have my subconscious clean. I got Frisco Gloria saying, "Real talk, man. Be safe out there." Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm finishing my program now, and that's the best advice I could give you. Don't wait for tomorrow to do something you could do today. Even if you weren't planning on doing it tomorrow, maybe you weren't planning on doing it at all. Reconsider life. Life's too short. Life's too short. And there's a weight that gets lifted off your shoulders. It just gets lifted off your shoulders when you patch things up with someone you care about. I've in the last week, talked the talk and walked the walk by reaching out to people who are upset at me for whatever reason. I send them messages. Whether they read them or not, I will never know. I know I'm blocked probably, but I did my part. And I can sleep well at night thinking, hey, I did it. If they don't want to talk to me, it is what it is. But at least I did my part. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this program. I hope it helped you in a bit somehow and made a difference in your life. I really hope it did because I've been through a lot of things and I like to share my experiences. Please, please, please follow our channel, the Late Channel on YouTube. I'm going to post the link on the chat room right now, as a matter of fact, and it should be on there. There it is. Boom. So follow our channel. We will be able to put most of our things on there because, again, after 30 days, Facebook deletes them. But I really appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys being here. And there'll be more episodes and stuff. I'm going to be doing reviews of cars on that channel, reviews of other things. I'm going to be all up doing stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of interactive stuff, and a lot of informative stuff. So looking forward to doing more with you guys. I will let you know when the next program will be. From Cincinnati, Ohio to the world, guy. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.